For real.
For real, for real.
Welcome to Life Fit TV. I am your host, Belicia Pierce. Today, we are going back and discussing the foundation of business, discussing policies, procedures, and having structure in your business. My host today is Joy Hutton with Joy of Consulting. Joy, how are you today?
I'm good.
Good. I'm so glad to have you here.
I am so happy to
fresh
be here.
Fresh from your trip from Africa. How was that?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm like, am I still here?
Yeah.
Am I still here? Yes.
Thank you so much
Trying to get caught up.
for joining us. Joy, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I don't know.
Where
Where
to
do I
start?
start?
I know. Oh my goodness.
Where do I start? Let's see. Well, I am from Chicago, and I have been in Houston for almost 8 years.
Wow.
I started Joy of Consulting, which is a management consulting firm,
Yeah.
and we help companies with their organizational structure through training and development and
Yeah.
process optimization, kind of my little pitch. And, you know, I started 3 years ago, and it was really
Wow.
born out of a need to have a job because
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
working on my master's in public administration. Thought I was going to work in government, change the
That changed
education
things, yeah.
platform and what have you, and yeah, that didn't happen.
That's life.
Yeah,
That's life.
exactly. And you know, I'm a planner, so
Yeah,
nothing has happened as I planned. So you know, I just kind of go through life, and
Yeah.
whatever it gives me, you know, I adjust.
That's good.
So yeah, started Joy of Consulting and working on that and a few other projects, and yeah,
Here you are.
Here I am.
Here you are. Okay, so what did you get your master's in? Your first master's.
Right. My first master's is in public administration.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that taught me a lot about, you know, government
Yeah.
and also just organizational structures in
Right.
general, organizational development, change management, which is a lot of the work that I do.
Right.
So, yeah.
So in building Joy of Consulting, what sparked that? How did you know, were you working for a firm and you knew that the niche was there and it needed to be filled
Yeah.
with other business owners, or?
So funny enough, I was like, how am I going to launch a consulting firm? I
Yeah.
don't have a traditional consulting experience.
Right.
I didn't work for Deloitte or Accenture or anything
Yeah.
like that. And so I literally sat down one day, I wrote a list of all the skills that I had,
Yeah.
looked at the list, and I said, okay, let me cross out what I don't want to do.
Right.
And so a lot of those skills kind of fit in the HR space, organizational development, training. And so I crafted that niche, and that's how I formed my business. And when I initially started, I was working with nonprofits, sole proprietors, and small businesses. But I've evolved
Wow.
since then, because I'm like, you know, certain clients are a headache. So
Certain, not all.
well, yeah. Some are easier than others. But when
Yeah.
you're dealing with, especially like sole proprietors, those are the most
Yeah.
demanding clients, and those are the ones that pay the least.
Yeah.
So go figure.
I know
So I'm
about
like, I think I need to change my business
Yeah.
model here. So now I work with government entities, corporations, and the hospitality industry.
That's awesome. Talk
Yeah.
about creating your own lane. I like how you said, you wrote down the things that you were good at and crossed
Right.
out what you knew you didn't want to do.
Exactly.
And focused on, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, so in consulting, starting off in business, I was all over the place. I did not want to delegate.
Yeah.
I built my business based on the integrity and personality of myself.
Right.
And so, although it grew so fast, I knew I needed the help. It was
Yeah.
just hard trusting other people to do what I did. So there weren't any systems in place.
Yeah.
Everything had to go through me. Even if I got help, you had to call me
Right.
to ask, okay, what do I do after this? What do
Right.
I do after this?
Yeah.
And it created a disaster. You cannot grow.
Right.
You cannot go
With
to the
no
next level with no systems.
Absolutely.
So how important is structure in a company, and what do you suggest to business owners for them to focus on first?
It's so important.
Oh
That's
my
a whole
God.
workshop, Valencia.
Oh my God. Well, can you host that? 'Cause
Yes, I can. I literally just did a workshop on business systems 101
Yeah. Oh, my
for
goodness.
People Fund, and I talked about that. Having systems is so important. It is like the most important thing before you even start a business.
Oh, my
and some
gosh.
people, they're like, well, I want to get this off the ground.
Yeah.
Well, when you get it off the ground and do not have systems in place, it's a disaster,
It
like
really
you
is.
said.
It
And
was.
it's better to put those systems in place before,
Yeah.
because then you have your stuff organized. And then you can move seamlessly through your business.
Yeah.
Because especially, like, think about a restaurant who doesn't have systems in place.
Oh,
You
my
can
goodness.
tell
Oh, yeah.
when that restaurant
Yeah.
opens that they don't have any
The
systems
server's
in
looking
place.
at
Yeah.
you like, well, what's
Exactly.
next?
And so
What's
it's
going on?
complete chaos.
Yeah.
Whereas if they properly train the staff before they
Yeah.
opened, everyone knows how the front of the house
Yeah.
and back of the house operations are
Right.
going to flow.
Yeah.
It's so much easier.
Yeah.
You can tell properly trained staff
Yeah.
when you go into any company,
Right,
whether
right.
it's a restaurant or any type of business.
Right.
So having systems in place is critical.
Yeah.
And you said something about delegating. I know it's
Oh,
hard
my
to
gosh,
delegate.
it really
And, you
is.
know, listen, people, I'm looking at you. Because look, there are 3 things that you have to have.
Yeah.
And so I like to call it the 3 Ds:
Yeah.
do, dump, and delegate.
Oh.
And it's so important because, you know, it's your baby, right?
Yeah,
You don't
right.
want to give it up. And
Right.
in order to do, dump, and delegate, you have to trust,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so when you don't relinquish that trust,
Right.
it's hard.
Yeah.
And you're the one that ends up doing all the work.
Oh my goodness.
So in order for you to stop doing that, it's like that list that I started when I wanted
Right.
to craft my niche.
Right.
It's the same thing as when you delegate tasks.
That's good.
So you write a list of the things that
Yeah.
you have to do,
Right.
cross out the things you don't want to do,
Right.
and those are the things
Oh,
that you
that's
delegate.
good. That's good.
And so essentially you're dumping them onto your
Yeah.
staff, but
It's still getting done.
Yeah, it's getting done, and then you're able to properly delegate. But
Right.
even before you delegate, you have to trust the people that you're
Yeah.
giving the assignments to.
Right.
You know, the task or
Right.
whatever the duties. And so and once you do that,
Yeah.
then you can delegate.
Yeah.
And you hire people for a reason, right?
Right. Right.
So, but even before hiring, you got to have systems in place.
You do.
So
You
it's
really do.
yeah, that's a more in-depth conversation, but that's just kind of, I mean, it's critical.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I think business owners, you said organization.
Yes.
As a business owner, you know, there's so many things that we have to deal with on a daily basis. If you are not
Absolutely.
organized, you really will be all over the place.
Yeah.
And organization wasn't one of my strong
Right,
points.
right.
You know, you really have to. There's a lot that you have to learn and take on as a business owner, and but you have to
Absolutely.
stick to it
Yeah.
in order to be successful.
Absolutely.
Um,
And not be stubborn. People don't want to
Oh
do the
my
work that it
gosh,
takes,
yeah.
but you must
You
do
have
that
to.
work before you start. Just do it right. You know,
Oh, it's true.
it'll save you some headaches later.
Where were you?
Right.
I always ask my guests, where were you? Because I needed all this expertise
Right.
when I started. I just,
Yeah.
and another thing business owners don't realize is they think that they have time
Mm-hmm.
when they can start their business and work and create those systems and policies.
Exactly.
You never know. When I started my business, within 4 months, it took off and I
Right.
had no
Yeah.
time to put anything in place.
Exactly.
So you don't know how
Yeah.
fast your business is going to grow.
Right.
So it's very important to do it before because
first.
you get into your business and then
Yeah.
you'll stay working in your business
Exactly.
instead of on your business.
Yeah,
So that was a very valid point.
Yeah.
What would you say to business owners who have never had structure in their business and try implementing the change with seasoned employees? There's definitely going to be some resistance, right?
Yeah, that God's grace
Yeah.
be with you. You know,
They're like, well, what's she trying to do? We
Right.
didn't. This isn't how we
Yeah,
do things.
exactly.
Well, this is
Ooh.
how we have to do them
yeah,
in order to.
that
move.
resistance is real, Valencia. But you know, the thing is, you have to take people back to the mission. So it's like, listen, people, I know you are set in your ways with how you do your job, but let's remember why we're here.
Oh, that's good.
And in order for us to grow, we
Yeah.
have to make changes.
Yeah.
We have to adapt so that we can move forward, so that we can scale. Because
right.
then if we can grow, that's more opportunities for
you,
you.
yeah.
So we have to, we have to keep that in mind,
that's
know,
good.
because people want to know, okay, well, we're moving, we're changing, whatever, where do I fit in?
Right.
And so when people know that they still have a purpose,
right.
that makes it easier to kind of shape them in the way
Okay.
that you want to go.
I get it now. I'm still here.
Yeah.
You're just, it's for better. But
Yeah.
so the open communication,
Exactly.
the open communication,
Exactly.
and reminding not just to your employees, but
Right.
reminding yourself too. Hey, this
Right.
this is what's needed.
Yeah.
But you have to communicate that effectively.
Exactly.
To your staff.
And letting them know that change is coming.
Yeah.
Because people, unfortunately, some people just want an explanation. But for people that you've had on staff for a long time, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think
It's
so.
fair.
Okay, so how does a poor core or foundation affect client relationships? Because even as you said, coming into being at a restaurant, you can tell if they don't have those policies or that structure in their
Right.
restaurant. It makes me not even want to come back.
Yeah.
So how does that, on a grand scale of things, affect that relationship with your client base?
It's so important.
Yeah.
Customer service is number one. It is number one. That's in
Yeah.
any business. I mean, hotels, restaurants, going to a grocery store, customer service is number one. That, for me, makes or breaks an experience.
It's true.
I
It's
will
true.
not come back to a restaurant, for example, even if the food was excellent.
And
if the customer service was horrible, I will not come back.
Yeah.
That would change the entire experience. So it is really important how you treat your customers and the people that work for you. It's client relations, but also the people that work for you. Like, I'm so vested in like the people and the processes in an organization. They have to work together. So if your customer service is not tight, you need to put that in order. So it is definitely core to the foundation.
Right.
And we have training for that too.
Yes. Okay, so to piggyback off of that, what suggestions would you give to business owners who have had bad publicity? How can they overcome those challenges?
Okay, I'm looking at you all again, okay? Listen, people are like, I'm not responding to bad customer reviews. Guess what? I'm reading reviews, and if I'm reading reviews, so are other people. And so if you're not responding to your bad customer reviews, that's poor etiquette.
Right.
Respond to those bad reviews because people are watching. And when other customers are looking at your reviews, they say, oh, well, even though that situation was bad, they resolved it.
Right.
Okay? So respond to those reviews. All right, thanks.
Let's talk about the etiquette of reviews, though. I feel like we need to talk to the consumers as
Right.
well.
Yeah.
So recently, I've seen a couple of new restaurants open here in Houston.
Yes.
Before the first couple of days that they were open, there were bad reviews. So I think that it's fair for us to discuss the role or the procedure of them that to communicate with that restaurant. I think within the first few days or the first few weeks, that should be an email, not an online review. The restaurants are just figuring out how to deal with the overpour of customers and dealing with these things. This is a new restaurant, and sometimes they're new business owners. These aren't business owners who have 5-6 restaurants
There's
under
no
their
leniency.
belt.
There's no leniency. We're not giving any grace.
So I think it needs to be discussed that just to grant the business some time or some leniency. Communicate to them first. If you've communicated with them first and then you get no response or they have not resolved the problem, then go online. But just, within your first visit, and I don't think it's fair, but that's also what the online reviews are for. So we have to stay on top of things.
Yeah, it's not fair. I mean, but it's so easy.
It is.
It's so easy for people. If they are upset, they're going to leave a bad review. And it's like, really? You're right. There's no grace. There's no leniency. And so there should be etiquette on both sides. But I mean, the reviews are there to educate the public about what they're about to experience, right? So, but back to kind of what you were asking about publicity, how to deal with poor publicity, I think it's important You know, again, when I say returning to the mission,
Yeah.
like, you know, it's always important to maintain the integrity of your
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
And you have to ask yourself, like, if you are getting poor publicity, why? You know, why are you getting that poor publicity? So, you know, it's kind of.
I actually, if I like, I love the positive reviews. I love
Yeah.
hearing great things, the people loving the things on about BeFit Foods. But what's most important to me is the dissatisfaction.
Exactly.
Those are the things that I want to see. Those are the things I want to hear about. Some of the policies that I have in place. One of the best policies I have in place is every order that we receive, every customer that places an order online, every Friday. For customers that order throughout that week, we give them a courtesy call that Friday just to see how their week went with the meals that they ordered, if they had any issues, or if they have any feedback that they like that we could do to make their ordering process or their meals better. So
I think that's great.
Yeah, and it gives us the chance to connect with them on a different level. Also, it helps us to remind them to, hey, it's time for you to order again.
So yes, I get my text messages. I'm like, okay, I need to make a visit.
Yeah, so I think that communication with your customer, showing them that you care and that you really are there for them, it really matters.
Absolutely. So, and a lot of people, a lot of companies have lost the art of people. You know, they just don't care.
It's just they're going through the motions.
And you have to care about the people. These are your consumers, and these are the people that work for you. So you can't forget about the people. So I like that you have different touch points, and it's necessary. It's necessary to have different touch points to let people know that we're not robots.
Yeah, right.
We still care. You're patronizing our business, and especially as a small business, that's so important because you want to have return customers.
Exactly, exactly. What are some of the biggest mistakes you see business owners making? We'll just touch on a couple.
Wow. Wow. Okay, let's see. Well, one, not having systems in place. Two, not having contracts. Verbal contracts are a no-no. And, you know, people are like, oh, well, we just said we were going to, was it in writing? Then it didn't happen.
Things don't get done
exactly.
that way.
If it's not in writing, it didn't happen. So you have to have contracts in place. Also, not having a financial accounting software. You know, there's no reason why you should have receipts in boxes. We are not in 1975. Like, there's QuickBooks, and there are affordable financial softwares for businesses. So there's no excuse. With the moment you set up that bank account, get QuickBooks or Xero, whatever. There are so many different.
I mean, in the apps, it just makes it easier. Take a picture of that receipt, upload it.
Yes, exactly. So there's no excuse not to have your financial house in order. So those are three. And then legal, like people are like, I can't afford an attorney.
You can't afford not to.
Yeah, exactly. You know, because if someone comes back to sue you, how are you protecting yourself? So that's one. And there are now, you don't have to have a retainer or an attorney on retainer for $1,500 a month. There are sites who will give you legal advice for like $35 a month. You know, you have LegalZoom, you have all these different sites. And then finally, you know, I forgot what I was gonna say. But those are four really important things. So systems, contracts, financial accounting, and having your legal house in order. So those are four things. I wish I could remember the fifth. But maybe it'll come back to you. Maybe it'll come back.
It'll come back to you. Guys, I'm having such a great time talking with Joy here today. We are going to go on a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
It's time to take back your health. There's no better time to start than now. Place your order online in the morning and come home after a great day at work and the gym to your BeFit Foods at your doorstep. As easy as 1, 2, 3. BeFit Foods is your lifeline to a healthy and fit lifestyle.
All right, welcome back to LifeFit TV. We are here with Joy M. Hutton with Ask Joy and Joy of Consulting, talking and discussing the policies and procedures having structure in your business. So much great information, Joy. So much.
Thank you.
Too bad I can't afford to have you on retainer. We'll have to discuss that.
Right.
Alrighty, so you also have a platform geared towards business owners called Ask Joy.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So hashtag Ask Joy is a weekly, I guess you can call it a vlog.
Yeah.
Where I deliver answers to people's most pressing business questions.
And where can we send those questions?
To hello@joyofconsulting.com.
hello@joyofconsulting.com.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, the people send me their questions, and some questions are not business related, But
are you single?
Yeah, right. I'm like,
Can I
this
take
is
you
not,
on a date?
Yeah, I'm like, don't ask me about my hair. Don't ask
Oh,
me. Like
yeah,
this is
yeah.
asking.
I mean, but your hair is fabulous. I
Thank
think you
you.
need another vlog for that.
I'm like, I'm not doing any more videos. So I gotta keep it, stay focused.
Right.
So yeah, but hashtag Ask Joy was really born out of a need to deliver, free advice. Because so many people contact me that cannot afford me, and I want to help, but I'm like, listen, I only have so much time in a day, I can't.
Yeah.
So, I gave people an opportunity to ask questions.
That's awesome.
And so I think I'm about 22, 23 episodes in.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know there were that many.
Yeah, so I took a 2-week hiatus when I was on vacation,
Yeah,
but I'll
they're
be back.
needed.
Yeah, I'll be back on Friday. And then, so I answer people's business questions, and really this was a kind of a segue into, or kind of ramping up for what I like to call an online entrepreneur boot camp for entrepreneurs. Because what I find is that people do these workshops at some of these entrepreneur centers, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But what I'm finding is that people still have questions, and they're questions about pain points.
Yeah.
So we can sit in the workshops at some of these centers, and they're talking about, okay, here are the 5 things you need, or 6 things you need: legal, HR, marketing, operations, and finance.
Yeah.
Those are the core things you need for your business, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, great, got that.
Right.
But what happens when I'm pulling my hair out because there are only 24 hours in a day, and I need to sleep 6 to 7 of those.
Right.
I need to actually work on my business.
Yeah.
I need to, if you have a family, you have a family to manage. So what happens? How do you manage your time?
Right.
How do you deal with burnout?
Yeah.
How do you deal with a lot of these questions that you have, like hiring best practices, hiring on a shoestring budget when you know you can't afford to hire a staff? How do you get help? So Business with Joy is what it's called, the Entrepreneur Boot Camp.
Okay.
And so it's Business with Joy, which I'm hoping to launch in the next couple of months, and that will be online where people, they don't have to select the whole boot camp. They can select different courses.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
so this will be a drawn out boot camp.
Yes.
It's not just one day.
Right. And it's all online, so people can do it on
awesome.
their schedule.
Anytime.
Because as an entrepreneur, of course, you don't have time.
Oh, I love it.
People will be able to go online and select the modules that they want. So if your issue is time management, you can buy that course.
Joy.
If your issue is, hiring or managing money, or if you're dealing with burnout, if you're, how do you have discipline as an entrepreneur?
I can't wait for this.
So
that's going to be huge.
I hope
that's
so.
going to be huge.
I
So
hope
many of
so.
us need it.
Yeah.
And sometimes there are just certain aspects of the business that you need a little advice on to help you overcome an obstacle or get to that next level. So that's going to be amazing.
And not everyone is going to be transparent with you.
Right.
Whenever people talk to me, I mean, I'm transparent. I'm as real as it gets. I'm like, I didn't have any sleep last night. So don't talk to me.
Right.
But I'm as transparent as I can be, but obviously I don't have time to talk to everybody. And so hashtag Ask Joy was that way to get the word out to people about the different things that you need to be aware of as a business owner. And really to get people out of the self-employed versus entrepreneur mindset. Because when you're self-employed, you are literally working for yourself by yourself.
By yourself, that's it.
But when you're an entrepreneur, you are building a business. And you are allowing yourself time to work work on the business
business,
and
yeah.
not in the business, and you have the mindset of scaling.
Yeah.
So it's really important to have that mindset shift.
Right.
So I really hope, that
I think
the
it's
boot
needed.
camp will be great, but that's
Yeah.
really why I went to do Ask Joy, because that was kind of a ramp up into that, because people can see, okay, well, Joy knows what she's talking about.
Right. And this we'll be able to register and find more information on joyofconsulting.com.
No. Not on there yet, but
it will be.
It will
It
be.
will be, okay.
I'm like, no.
Well, just make sure that your Insta
Yeah.
handle was on
Yes.
is online
And
on
then-
here, so we'll be able to connect with you.
Yeah, and then I have a Facebook page as well, and I
Yeah.
usually have updates, or LinkedIn as well. People can find me there.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have to find you.
Yes.
We have to find you.
Yeah.
Now, LifeFit TV is geared towards, bringing the mentors and the experts
Mm-hmm.
in different fields to the forefront. Did you have a mentor
Yes.
in your professional career?
Yeah, I've had several.
Right,
Or I
yeah.
have several.
Yeah.
And it's so important.
Yeah.
I was just having this conversation with someone the other day, because they're like, I don't have a mentor. And I'm like, what?
Right.
How have you gone through life without a mentor?
yeah.
It's so important to have a mentor. And, mentors can come in all
Right.
capacities.
Right.
Someone can help you with business acumen.
Right,
Someone can
right.
help you with just, like, I had someone from Deloitte, for example, because I did not have the traditional consulting background.
Right.
So I needed to know all the consulting
Yeah,
lingo and what have you.
yeah.
She's like, well, you're doing everything that we do,
Right.
but you're not saying it the right way.
Right. That's good.
So,
That's important.
Yeah, so I was like, okay. And then she, was like, you need to bump your price up a little
Yeah.
bit. And that's another thing, too. Like, we don't know
No.
our value as entrepreneurs, and we're selling ourselves short.
Yeah.
So we really need to have someone to, again, be transparent with us.
Be
So mentors
transparent.
have been instrumental to me,
Yeah.
because one, sometimes you need someone to just keep you on track,
Yeah.
to help you stay focused, because we go off into
Oh, my
having 20
goodness, yeah.
dreams and what have you. And it's like, so
Yeah.
which one
Where
are you going to do today? Okay, let's stay focused. And I have a real issue with staying focused. So
Yeah.
I have one mentor just for that. Like,
That's
Joy, are
good.
you working on this
You're
one
jumping
thing
the
today?
broom too
Yeah,
early, Joy.
exactly.
Come-
So
come
not
back over
today.
here.
Not right now, Joy.
That's good.
So yeah, mentors are instrumental and have been instrumental in what
Yeah.
I do, like, just through my entire life since college.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh my goodness. As an entrepreneur with so many titles under your belt, how do you find balance? Because you're also getting another master's at
Yeah.
Duke University right now.
I know, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm like, should I really do this?
Yeah.
But yeah, I am pursuing my master's in business administration.
Wow.
So honestly, I tell people, I really don't know. I
Right,
just know
you
I
just-
have this amount of time of day. I live by my calendar,
That's it.
and I prioritize the
Yeah.
things that are important to me. So, I have, my focus now is the boot camp.
Yeah.
And going back to school.
Yeah.
So I just kind of prioritize
Yeah.
the buckets that I have.
Yeah.
And it's difficult, but we have to manage the time that we have in a
Yeah.
day. And they're like, but you still go out. Yeah, I
You
gotta
have to enjoy
gotta
your
drink
life.
my wine. I'm
Yeah.
like, I still have to have a life,
Yeah.
but I managed to fit it all in.
Yeah.
You just make it work. You
Yeah,
know.
you just make it work.
What did Denzel say in, I can't remember the movie, but you do what you have to do
Yeah.
so that you can do what you want to do. And
Yeah.
it's so true.
It is.
So The Great Debaters.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? I think.
don't know. Don't quote me.
Right. Don't quote me either.
And so when you find yourself getting off task or just needing a break,
Yeah.
do you feel guilty about that, or are you okay with, hey, I projected to finish this in this
Yeah.
amount of time. That's not going to work. I need some me time right now, and this is what's priority right
That's
now.
such a good question.
Yeah.
I think I have had guilt in the past, especially when I first started my business, because I'm like, there are some people who are like not getting sleep at all.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
I don't want to be that type of
Team no
entrepreneur.
sleep.
Yeah, I'm like, nah,
I
I'm
need
not about that
sleep.
life, because you gonna see me walking around with bags
Yeah.
under my eyes.
My body doesn't
Yeah.
listen to me anyway. Like, yeah, that hustle's cute,
Exactly.
but we're shutting down.
Right, and it's
Yeah.
gonna be hashtag where's Joy
Yeah.
under the bed.
so
So
funny.
yeah, you have to take time for yourself, and that's another thing. Self-care for
Yeah.
entrepreneurs is one of the modules that
Yeah.
I'll be doing.
Oh,
But yeah,
that's good.
you have to take time for yourself. So yeah, I'm not about that life. I
Yeah.
was, but not anymore. So yeah, I just can't
Yeah.
because again, you only have so many hours in a day. So
Yeah.
no, I don't feel guilty anymore.
Good.
And I also have been comfortable with saying no a lot.
Yeah.
Especially this year, I'm like, no. People are like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, with no explanation.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm just like, no,
And you
I'm not
don't have
doing it.
to.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't owe you an explanation for my time.
Right.
So I think we have to be comfortable with that because, especially as new entrepreneurs, people are like, oh, I want to be here and there. And I was guilty of that, when I first started. And I was like, I have like 5 memberships that I've paid for.
Yeah.
All this time I've spent on, all this time and money I've spent for people that aren't writing me checks.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
So it's just, you have to just be realistic about that and,
Yeah.
and really make a plan for where you need to spend your time. Like,
that's good.
are you going places where there are your potential clients?
Yeah.
So I no longer feel guilty when people are like, oh, we don't see you. Why? Why do you need to see me?
A friend of mine told me because especially here in Houston, we
Yeah.
like to network and we like to just go places.
Socialize.
We love to
It's
socialize.
really socialize.
So, yeah. And so, she said a mentor of hers said that you're going to too many
Yes.
events.
Uh-huh.
Why are you just here just to be
Right.
here?
Exactly.
And what's important is that the events that you tag yourself to or that you make sure that you are, make sure that
Absolutely.
there's someone there that
Yeah.
in the room that you need to meet, that you want to meet, that's going to help excel you in life.
Yeah.
What benefit are you getting out of this event besides getting a picture for social media?
Exactly.
So that's very
yeah,
important.
and that's not important to me.
Yeah.
So when people
yeah.
say they haven't seen me, I'm like, good.
Good.
Good. That means
Yeah.
I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
That means I'm working on my
working. Yeah,
business.
exactly.
So like people don't need to see me. I'm like, you're going to see me in places where I need to be
Where
seen.
you need to be.
And that means there's some money in the room.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. So, I mean, I could keep you here all day, getting some valuable information for our guests and myself.
Yes, yes.
But not to keep you too much longer, tell us what's next for Joy.
Okay, let's see what's next. So I told you guys about Business with Joy,
Yes.
the online entrepreneur boot camp
I
that's
can't
coming.
wait about it.
Yeah, and then I'm working on a beauty on demand app.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I
Well,
know.
that's perfect
Like,
for
it's-
you. I mean,
right.
look at her.
Thank you. As if I don't have enough going on.
I
But
know.
the beauty on demand app is called On The Go Glam, and hopefully that will launch later in 2019.
I
But
love
I'm
it.
doing some events that will be ramping up for that. But that is an app where essentially kind of like the Uber for beauty, where someone will come to you and do your hair, makeup, and nails.
That will be amazing.
Yes, because again, we have no time.
The
And I'm
go-to
like-
portal. The
Exact-
go-to portal for
yeah,
beauty.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, and not only that, it's just it's not only helping consumers, but I will also be partnering with salons to fill empty seats,
I love it.
partnering with corporations to, as kind of tagging onto their health and wellness initiative, like Mani and Petty Days or
Yeah.
whatever. It can go so many different ways, but essentially, I want to tap into this workforce in the
Yeah.
beauty industry and essentially develop this workforce.
Yeah.
So, training and development is my
Yeah.
thing. So they will go through a training program, but it's not just a training for, okay, how do you do hair, makeup, but, learning how to brand yourself as an
Oh, that's good.
entrepreneur,
Yeah.
learn how to market yourself, learn how to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
How do you have an effective
Oh,
business,
man.
a successful business? And really, because people are trying to find ways to make money on the
Yeah,
side,
yeah.
they're trying to have supplemental income. So
Yeah.
I'm all about, workforce development.
Yeah.
So, and I want my makeup and nails done at home.
Right, yeah.
Because I don't want
convenience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because MAC or Sephora is not always open when I
Yeah.
need my makeup done. And that's how I came up with the idea. I was in LA for an event and it was 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, MAC is not open, Sephora, and then
Right.
I hadn't researched a makeup artist. And I'm
Right.
like, wonder
Last
if there's
minute.
an app for that.
Oh,
or
that's awesome.
wouldn't it be nice if there were an app for that?
Yeah.
And so came back home, researched it, and so,
Wow.
and there are some apps out there that are doing it, but I'm like, not in Houston,
Yeah.
Or
That's
not any apps that people know about.
Right.
And so I'm like, well, that's
This
where I
will be
need
the
to
first.
I need to get
Wow.
in on this.
Yeah. Well, congrats on that.
Thank
I know that
you.
it would be a huge success, and
Thank
any way that I
you.
can help, let me
Yeah,
know. I
thank
just
you.
love everything about you, everything
And
that you
you
stand
too.
for. Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you.
Thank you again for being here.
Thanks
Let
for
our viewers
having
know
me.
where we can reach you or follow you and just
Yeah.
to stay connected and in touch with you.
Absolutely. So if you want to watch #AskJoy,
Yeah.
hey guys. All right, there you are. If you want to watch #AskJoy, you can you can Google #AskJoy. It'll probably pop up, but it's on my website. The videos are on my website, www.joyofconsulting.com. Also on Facebook and LinkedIn. And I am at Joy of Consulting on all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I can't like all of them. And then I'm also at Joy_M_H on Instagram as well. And that's where you can find me.
Awesome. Again, thank you so much, Joy, for
Thank
coming
you
to
for
Life Fit
having
TV.
me.
We'll definitely have to have you on again
Yes,
when the
yes.
boot camp pops
Yeah,
off.
I know.
And to tell us more about that beauty app. So
Yes.
good luck with that.
Thank
and
you
thank
so much for having
again,
me.
to my guests, thank you guys so much for joining in with us today on Life Fit TV. Just to retouch business owners, it's important, it's priority for you to have those policies and procedures in place. You're working too hard if you don't have a system in place for when you're absent from your business. If an employee cannot or does not know what to do in your absence, you do not have the best or the right effective policies and procedures in place. And there are experts and there are consultants that can help you with that. Just just reach out and secure what it is that you need for your business. Again, thank you again for joining Life Fit TV. We'll see you next week.
Yay.
Yay, thank you so
Yay,
much.
of
I'm so glad
course,
that you
honey.
came.